This is a quick demonstration that was run at EMC World 2012 that demonstrates vFabric Data Director from VMware and EMC Data Domain integration around DD Boost. vFabric Data Director is a simple and easy tool that allows you to cloudify the database. And when I say database, it can be vFabric Postgres, it can be Oracle databases, it could be all sorts of databases, including EMC Greenplum and things like that in the future. So the first thing about cloudifying anything is you need to create tenants. So if we imagine creating an organization here, we're creating an organization which would be one of multiple tenants, for example, research or software development. And then within the tenant, we create a resource bundle. A resource bundle is a pool of CPU, memory, and storage. So we'll identify what data stores at the VMware layer and how much capacity, so 40 gigs for production storage. And then we're identifying an NFS-based data store, which is coming from Data Domain, for a backup target. The other thing that we're doing is we're saying what database templates can be used. So in this case, an Oracle 11G a database template. And it's very, very fast and very simple to create a tenant, the resource bundles, and then assign it to an organization. For example, here we're assigning it to the research organization. Now, if we just go through and take a look at what we just did, we very rapidly created two tenants. If we click on the research tenant, you can see the pools, you can see what various database groups there are, and a database group, again, is another logical grouping of assets within that resource bundle. So you could further subdivide that pool. And here within that database group, we're going to identify how much storage is going to be used for primary storage and how much is going to be used for backup storage. If we take a look at the organizational settings, you can see the resource bundle is there. We can make sure that the database templates are enabled. And again, these database templates make it extremely easy for a user to be able to create on-demand database instances that can be used for all sorts of purposes. And again, in this particular example, we're using an Oracle 11G instance that's running on top of SUSE. So if we go and we say, let's create a new database, you can either do it via the UI here, it's simple and easy, or this has got its own rich API, so this can be done completely programmatically. We're going to say, let's create a database instance. We'll make it, using that template, we'll make it 2 vCPUs with a given amount of RAM. We'll identify the database username, and boom, off you go. It's that simple and easy to create an instance of a database. You can just imagine how much easier this makes things for life for database admins of all types. So off it goes, it's creating it, and again, you're getting the benefit that it's also running on top of VMware, so it's very, very efficient. Now we've got an Oracle instance here that we created earlier, and what we're going to do is we're going to log in and we're going to trigger a traditional RMAN-based backup. Now an RMAN-based backup is the native backup tool. You can see here that we have a mount point for this this database, which is going to be used for backup targets, and that mount point is an NFS share that's being exported from a data domain target. Now data domain is the leader in purpose-built backup appliances. Incredible high performance, incredible efficiency through fantastic inline deduplication capabilities. Now in this case, that file system is only about 100 megs. It's not using anything. So now what we'll do is we'll go back to that Oracle instance, and we're going to trigger the RMAN-based backup. Now here we're just going to do a straight up NFS backup. It's not using any optimization, so this is how Oracle would back up against a generic NFS target. What it's doing here is it's doing a database integrated backup, and you know, it's quiesced. You can now see that the amount of storage that's being used is increasing from that 100 megs. It's now 162. So we'll do a little bit of a time warp here, and at the end of the process, if we compress it down, after about 5-6 minutes, the RMAN-based backup is complete. You can see it took about 6 minutes in total. And if you take a look, hey, we did roughly about 1.2 gigs worth of backup space. Now what we're going to do is we're going to trigger the DD Boost based backup. What this does is it leverages the fact that you can optimize around the data domain target, and we integrate this with RMAN to do the same full backup But leveraging the fact that we're doing an inline dedupe can actually increase the speed of the overall backup if you integrate it with the backup client, which we've done with RMAN. You can see that this full backup took 6 minutes originally, and when you compare that, it took roughly about 1 minute and 30 seconds when you do DD Boost based RMAN backup. So that's fantastic, and that's great for, frankly, any customer that's using Oracle and they're using Data Domain, whether or not they're using vFabric Data Director. Now, what we're going to do here, however, is we're going to highlight that you can see that the vFabric Data Director not only makes it simple and easy to have a cloud-like consumption for creating and deleting databases, but also for integrated backup and recovery, which is really cool. In vFabric Data Director, there's 2 types of backups. One is a snapshot, which in essence is a VMware snapshot. It takes a VM snapshot of the entire database state. You can see, if we go to vCenter, what's going on underneath the covers. It's actually creating a virtual machine snapshot. Very useful function, fast, simple, easy, consumes almost no storage. And again, if you think about how often people are creating test and dev copies of Oracle or Postgres databases or whatever, this makes it dramatically simpler and easier, and in a few seconds, great, we've got a point-in-time copy. But the other thing that we really want to highlight here is it's possible via the cloud consumption framework that vFabric Data Director does to create full backups as well. So what we've done here is we've triggered an external backup, and this integrates again with RMAN, so you've got a nice consistent point-in-time backup. But what it's doing is it's creating a full external backup to tape, quote unquote. Now, again, if you go and you take a look, you can see that when we do these backups, you get that same benefit of the vFabric integration with Data Domain Boost, dramatically speeding up the process of both backup and recovery while being able to do it in an extremely high performance way through backup to disk and extremely efficiently due to Data Domain's inline deduplication capability. So there you have it, vFabric Data Director, integration with DD Boost, pure awesome sauce for anyone who is a database administrator of any kind.